If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. The first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. What's up mod squad, welcome to another Division 2 build breakdown video. Before we get into the video, if you're already subscribed to me, then don't forget to smash that like button, as it really does help push our videos into the recommended section, which in turn helps the channel grow. Interaction is a big part of what helps us in the YouTube algorithm, and the extra support is very much appreciated. We also have that 500 like goal here on the channel that we don't miss, so let's make sure we hit that goal to help the growth of the channel. In today's video, I'll showcase a build that will make your legendary summit grind insanely easier, helping you obtain that higher grade gear for your builds. This build is designed to combat and protect you against the strongest and hardest hitting enemies in the game, from your standard reds, purples and elites to your elite bosses, heavies and rogue agents. Now a big part of this build is the primary weapon, that weapon being the exotic Scorpio shotgun. In my opinion, this weapon is perfect for legendary content and overpowered when it comes to PvE. Now what makes this weapon so overpowered is its septic shock talent. Shooting a target applies a stack of venom which lasts for 10 seconds. Increasing stacks adds more severe debuffs to the target. 1 is poison, 3 is disorient, 6 is shock and 7 targets take an additional 20% damage from all sources. Stacks no longer increase. Duration of status effects is based on the percentage of pellets hit on applying shot. Now the reason this talent is so overpowered is because there's 3 status effects within this weapon's talent that cripple NPCs, that being poison, disorient and shock. While NPCs are under these status effects, they either don't or can't shoot you, allowing you time to recover or kill them. So not only does this weapon make it easier to kill NPCs, but it also helps protect you from them as well. This majorly adds to this build's survivability, as the main issue with legendary content is the amount of damage NPCs put out. This build's put together to negate legendary NPC damage, and the weapon's just one part of the build that does that. Now when it comes to this build's survivability, we have 1.7 million base armor and gain 50% bonus armor on kill if we pick up a trophy, which makes us ridiculously tanky. I'm pretty sure we're easily hitting 3 million armor or more after picking up 2 or 3 trophies. All this armor is what helps us negate red and purple NPC damage. This build also has 3% armor regen thanks to the exotic memento backpack's long term stacks, so we have a good amount of passive healing over time for those times where we're damaged and can't pick up trophies. And on top of that, we also have 72% protection from elites, which is what allows us to tank the damage of the hardest hitting enemies in the game, elite heavies, rogue agents and even the hunters. Protection from elites also applies to your skills. In order to reach such high percentage of protection from elites, you'll need to use improvised gear. Improvised gear has no brand set bonuses or talents, but allows you extra mod slots on your holster, gloves and knee pads, which will help you gain an extra 36% protection from elites. You can craft improvised gear pieces at the crafting station if you have the blueprints. The combination of the Scorpio shotgun, high armor and protection from elites will allow even the newest of players to legendary content get through it with ease. Now when it comes to the damage of this build, we won't be insta killing NPCs, but we will be doing more than enough damage to put them down, as you've seen in today's gameplay. This is thanks to a combination of amplified damage, multiplicative damage and critical hit damage. This build gives you all the survivability you need and will allow you to do enough damage to take down any enemy. Don't forget guys, these builds are templates or blueprints for you to use and change to your liking, although I wouldn't recommend going any lower on the armor, as it's needed to tank the red and purple NPC damage. Also, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below and I'll reply like I always do. If you're new, subscribe for lots more Division 2 content, and with that said, let's get into a quick build breakdown. Right guys, starting off with the specialization, we're using the Technician. Reason being is it's probably the best to use against the Black Tusk, which is what the legendary NPCs will be. As you can see, 12% damage to drones, skill proxies and robotics. We also gain 1 skill tier. This is going to buff up our skills, that being the shield and the artificial hive. The reason you want to use the artificial hive and the shield is that is going to help you combat red and purple NPC damage. When it comes to elites, it won't matter so much because you have 72% protection from elites and that's going to apply to your skills, so this is mainly to negate red and purple NPC damage. And that is pretty much it when it comes to specialization guys. I wouldn't say you have to use the Technician, whatever is your preference, but I'm using the Technician. You could also use the Survivalist to gain an extra 10% protection from elites if you feel you're still getting hit too hard by the elite enemies. Now we have covered the specialization, let's get onto the build breakdown. So starting off with our primary weapon, we have the Scorpio shotgun. Like I explained earlier in the video, super strong because of the septic shock talent. If you guys want to go over that, feel free to pause the video. Looking at the attachments, on the magazine we have 10% reload speed, on the grip we have 10% weapon handling, on the muzzle we have 10% stability, and on the sight we have 10% critical hit chance. Moving on to the secondary, we have the named SMG The Grudge. The reason I'm using this is perfect vindictive. Killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and your allies within 20 meters 18% critical hit chance and 18% critical hit damage. Now because we're going to be applying the status effects with the shotgun, it's easy to finish off the enemy with this SMG to gain extra damage. Looking at the attachments on this SMG, we have critical hit chance on the scope, we have 20 extra rounds in the magazine, 5% critical hit chance on the laser pointer, and 5% critical hit damage on the flash hider. And finally, when it comes to weapons, we have our sidearm, which is the named pistol, the Orbit. We're using this because we get the perfect finisher talent. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% critical hit chance and 40% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. So guys, the build, even with memento stacks, might not absolutely melt NPCs, but if you can apply both the vindictive and the finisher talent together, wow, this build really does hit. Now, moving on to the gear pieces, as you can see, we have the chill out mask. Not everybody's going to have this mask, so if you don't have it, use the Badger Tough mask, and then you might want to use the Survivalist Specialization for the 10% extra protection from elites, because the chill out mask is going to allow us that extra mod slot, as you can see, so we can gain 12% protection from elites. So we have 170k max armor, 11.2% critical hit damage, 12% protection from elites via a mod, and another 12% protection from elites via a mod. Moving on to the chest piece, we have a Seska. Chest piece gives us 10% critical hit chance, 170k armor, 10.5% critical hit damage, 5.3% critical hit chance, and 12% protection from elites via mod. And then we have the Intimidate talent. While you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. If you are struggling, guys, with this build and you need extra survivability, you can go for Unbreakable, although I think we have more than enough survivability when it comes to this build. Moving on to our first piece of improvised gear, as you can see, guys, 170k armor, 10.8% critical hit damage, 6% crit chance, and 12% protection from elites via a mod. Now, these pieces aren't easy to get. You do have to craft them, you won't get the greatest rolls, and you have to keep re-rolling them to get the stats up, but they are worth it in the end. Moving on to our knee pads, we have the Fox Prayer knee pads giving us that multiplicated damage to targets out of cover. We have 170k armor and 5.2% critical hit chance. Moving on to the gloves, and they are improvised, 15% weapon damage, 5.5% critical hit chance, and 12% critical hit damage, and then 12% protection from elites via a mod. And finally, onto the backpack, the most overpowered exotic in the game in my opinion, we have the Memento backpack. As you can see, all max stacks, 15% weapon damage, 170k armor, 1 skill tier, 12% protection from elites via a mod, and a kill confirmed talent. Will be gaining 5% skill efficiency per trophy, 50% bonus armor, and 10% weapon damage, and that's not including the 30% weapon damage from the long term buff, the 3% armor regen, and the 30% skill efficiency. Moving on to the skills, like I recommended earlier, the shield, I know a lot of people don't like them, but when it comes to legendary content, I feel they're very much needed. So as you can see, we have the Crusader Shield currently at a tier 6, so at its strongest form. The Artificer Hive actually gives this a buff, so it makes it even stronger, so it will gain even more shield health. When it comes to the mods, we have 4.9% shield health, 4.6% shield health, and then we have a damage mod, which doesn't apply because this isn't the Firewall Specialization. Moving on to our second skill, we have the Artificer Hive. Now this is a skill you don't have to touch at all, you just wear it on your back and it will apply to your opposite skill. So this is what's going to buff our shield, making it stronger and help it regain health. We have 8.8% stim efficiency, 4 stim charges, and then we have 10% health. Not that you really need it because again you're wearing it on your bag, so it's not like you're going to put it down, there's a chance of it getting destroyed. And that is pretty much it for the build, guys. We're going to go over to the stat sheet now. I'm not going to talk through it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button to help us hit that 500 like goal, to keep this channel alive, to keep our videos growing until we get the new content drop. And with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Mob Squad.
Surface target approaching. System restored.